sugar little honeybee.
Alright, I'm Harold from Lanier Bee Barn, and we're here today at the TPC Sugarloaf Country Club to install their new hives. We had a few kids do a little painting for us, so we got some nice paint jobs on all these beautiful hives. Today's the day we're going to install everything, so we're going to begin transferring the nukes from our traveling boxes into the permanent hive. So these girls are probably ready to get out, so we're going to take a look and see how they are. We're going to have a whole bunch want to fly a little bit. So overall they're looking pretty satisfied. Put a little smoke just to sort of calm them just a little bit. And then we're gonna begin now. Each hive has got a tag on the front. That's the front of the hive. And we want to orient these frames to wherever the front is. So we'll just take one frame at a time, gently lift it, place it in, and there we go. We'll take a look to see if we can find our queen as we do this, so everybody can get a good idea. All right, so this frame right here, they're drawing it out, building the comb, and I can see in there are just tons of eggs. I don't know if you can get close enough to see the egg inside of that cell. But every cell in here has eggs in it. All right, I don't see the queen as of yet. I don't see her on that side. All right. So we'll just have to pry these apart. What we have here on this frame, this is capped brood. So when the queen lays the egg, after 3 days it hatches. And then it gives us what we call milk brood or larva. You see the larva inside here. And then after 9 days, they put a wax capping on it, and then it will finish pupating in there, and then eventually 21 days, she emerges as a new worker bee. So let's take a quick look. I don't see the queen here. Let's keep going. Sometimes you can look 2 or 3 times and not find her, but you don't need to be concerned. As long as you see eggs, then she's good. She's in here. She's been in here in the last 3 days. So we'll take another look on this one. Most likely she's on that outer frame that's left in there. Yeah. Right here, I'll point out a difference too. You see this brood right here, it's all flat. This is going to be worker brood. This one, it's a bit taller. You see how it's kind of protrudes a little bit? That's going to be a drone. We may see more drone frames. I'm looking for drones themselves in here. I don't see any just yet. All of these are female worker bees. So these are just full of brood. So all of this, I can tell by the color, this within a week all of this will probably hatch. Once it hatches, then they'll come back like this right here and lay eggs, and she'll just keep refilling every place that they hatch. The queen's one and only job is to lay eggs. Now here sometimes when they start getting full, this is what's called a queen cup, and they just sort of make a practice run or preparation sometimes. Most times they're empty. There's nothing inside. So there's no need for concern. So I found our queen for this colony, and she's going through laying eggs and everything. That's her only job. You see how she's walking around looking for a place to lay? That's her right there. There's typically only one queen per colony. Oh, here we go. This right here, this is a drone. That's a male bee. And these are workers. There's another drone. And of course the queen is a female. Alright, so the basic setup of these hives is, this is true for any Langstroth type hive. This is our bottom board. We're using solid bottom boards here. There's also another type that has a screen bottom. This is what we call a deep hive body. And later, as they build that out, we'll be adding medium supers to that for them to store the honey in. So then we go from there. We have obviously the frames where the bees will draw out and build comb, and where they can lay eggs and raise larvae. It's also a wax-coated plastic, and this gives them a nice solid structure to build from, and it also keeps them building in a straight line. If you use wax, or if you don't put foundation on that, it'll build what we call wonky comb. You don't want that. The next piece that goes on is our inner cover, and then this is called a telescoping outer cover. And the reason there are two pieces is that if we simply put this on top, they will propolize that or glue it down so tight that you can't hardly get it out without trying to pry it open, in which case you're going to be stretching the joints and may break your top. So you have that inner cover that makes that process easy to get everything off so you can inspect the hive. I like to start up every colony. We would like to feed them for at least a week, especially this time of year, just until they learn the floral sources that are around them. So we put in what's called a division board feeder, and give them at least maybe 2 quarts or a little more of sugar water, and that gives them a good start, so that at some point they'll find out all the real stuff. They really don't like this, won't want this once they find the real nectar. But this gives them a great start. It's an easy way to do it. Some people feed them through the lid, and then you got more work to cut the lids open to put a feeder jar and stuff in there. But this gives them a real good head start. Easy to feed, and these will hold about a gallon altogether. We don't put that much in there because they, just enough to get them acclimated to their new location.
How do you make the sugar water?
Good question. Sugar water that we feed the bees is a 1-to-1 mixture. It's 1-to-1 by the weight. So a gallon of water weighs 8 pounds, and so we would mix 8 pounds of sugar with that. It's not by volume, so just by weight.
So they're installing the final hives. All in all, it took about 30 minutes to get 20 nukes installed.
Oh, got one more. Yep.